Hello and welcome back to Elevated and Meaningful. I am your host Sar Bisarian. Here today I am with an Austin, Minnesota neighbor, Oballa Oballa. And I'd like to allow Oballa, he's my special guest today, introduce himself a little bit and where he's from and what he's up to. So please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Shay, for inviting me in your beautiful studio. My name is Oballa Oballa. I am an Austin former city council, a graduate from Revelin, and I'm from I grew up in a refugee camp in Kenya, and I've been living in Austin for 6 years, and total 9 years in America.
Wow. So I've met you several times in town. I've heard your speeches, and I've learned about a little bit about your story. How would you describe your experience? You said you were a refugee, and you came to here. I know you didn't move right to Austin, Minnesota. You were in other areas. Mm-hmm. Maybe share a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, my family and I moved in America in the year 2013, and when we moved here, we first settled in Maryland, and Maryland was cold. We thought that was the only coldest area. We never know anything about Minnesota.
Yeah.
But things didn't go very well in Maryland. So my social worker told us that I need to look for a job within my 2 weeks in America. And no English, because when I moved here, I don't know any English. I don't have any high school diploma. But I told her, no, I need a high school diploma. I need to learn English so that I can work when I go to work and communicate.
Yes.
She said, no, you will learn on the line. So, and from there, I disagreed with her. I moved from Maryland to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And from there, I went to school and get my high school diploma. And then I moved to Austin. So my new life began in Austin.
So how old are you?
Right now, I am 29.
29.
When I moved here, I was 20.
Cool. We're close. I'm 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Not too far, yeah.
So,
how do you like Austin? It's pretty diverse, right?
Austin is a beautiful city. You know, when I live in 3 different states, you know, South Dakota and also Maryland and then Minnesota. And when I look Austin, particular, Austin is a town that welcome anyone who want to work. You know, when I moved here, I feel like Austin is a city that I've been dreaming of, you know, because when you're in refugee, you're always thinking, oh, one day I will go to this small town in America and then start a better life. And that town is Austin. And I saw it my first day I moved here, and I'm like, I will come back and I will stay here. And now here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said you've been working as a Austin city councilman.
Yes.
For how long?
I have been there my first term, and after I'm in the middle of my first term,
which is 2 years.
It goes 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So I was serving First Ward, which is all this area here. Well, you are in my district.
Yes.
And then, but I bought a house outside of Austin, which is northeast area. So that way I had to move in another side of Austin. But before that, before I joined Austin City Council, I was very involved in Austin. I was part of Human Rights Commission. I was a student of Revelin, you know, starting the first food pantry at Revelin. And I was involved statewide. I was the president for every community college in Minnesota, you know, serving all students. So I was involved in so many activities, and I got to meet the president last year too. So I've been involved in so many things. So
yes, I saw that post you made.
Yeah.
You were with the president. Yeah. That was a cool experience. You liked it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Not many people could say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said right now you're running for at large. What does that mean?
So city council divided into 3. The city of Austin divided into 3. So each ward has 2 representatives, and then the total number of the city council, they have 6 members, and then we have the mayor and then at large. So that means at large you're the vice president to the mayor. So whereby you represent the whole city when you run. But a first ward city council or a second ward or a third ward, they only represent their own ward. So if there is a complaint, we make decision as a team, but they will go to you, and then you will work on their behalf.
I see.
So, but at large, you're kind of, if the mayor, let's say the mayor took a vacation and he will not be there, so this the city council at large will be in charge of running the meeting.
I see.
Yeah.
So remind the viewers again where you're from.
I am from Gambela, Ethiopia.
Kampala.
Gambela.
Gambala.
Yeah, Gambela, Ethiopia.
So Ethiopia. So I've noticed that there are, you know, sometimes you post stuff that you're doing in America and in Austin as a councilman or other sort of activist stuff you're doing gets a lot of traction on Facebook from people back home.
Yes.
Just tell me why that is. Why are people from back home? Do they look up to you? They know you're well known. I mean, for a small town in USA, you're pretty well known here.
Yeah.
For back home.
Yeah, I think I see my life as experience because I live in a refugee camp whereby, you know, a day or two you'll go without eating anything, and you know, while I was back in refugee, I kind of know so many people because I was so involved, you know, because in refugee you kind of leave only to get to tomorrow. So what I'm doing here is kind of, you know, I'm trying to inspire people back home because especially those kids in the refugee camp. So Austin has become well known because of what I'm doing. Because when I post on social media, anyone from Ethiopia will pick up, will be like, oh, I know him, and then other people. So I'm kind of doing all this so that to inspire those kids back home, and also giving them a meaningful life. Like one day they will make it to America and they will be in a position where I am today. So that their dream to come to abroad will not die. So and that's why I'm so connected with so many people. Some will call me, hey, will you give me scholarship to come to America? I'll be like, well, one day maybe if I have the opportunity.
I see.
So, but I'm doing this just to inspire people and you know, and motivate them.
So talk about why you were a refugee. What is it like back home that caused that reality in your life and in the lives of many others?
Yeah, that's really a good question. So we are from Gambela, Ethiopia, which is bordering the South Sudan. So it is from southwest Ethiopia. So what happened is that in 2003 there was a genocide in my hometown, whereby, you know, more than 424 people were killed within 12 hours. So including my uncle. So we flee the genocide and then we run from Gambela to neighboring country, from South Sudan border, and then we went to Kenya to seek for refuge. So after there, we stay in refugee camp for 10 years, and then after 10 years, we get opportunity to move to America. So that was the reason we flee, because back home, everything was not good because the government that was ruling, administration that was ruling during our time was not in any favor of my region or in favor of our people, because Gambela is one of the poorest city. We are rich with natural resources, but the government is not stepping foot there to do any development.
So is it the problems in your country, is it because of religion or politics or both?
I think it's both.
Okay, so talk about that a little. Like, what about the politics that's causing persecution on a lot of in people's lives, in religion as well? Like, what is going on there?
Yeah, the biggest thing with Gambela people, because Ethiopia has more than 80 tribes in Ethiopia.
Okay.
So, and what happened is that Gambela is one of the region with a darker skin. So other Highlander, they call it Highlander, they kind of have the lighter skin. So they're like, Gambela is kind of part of, you're not really Ethiopian. Even though the map, we are there since the beginning of Ethiopia, we're there. So we are not looked at the central government like looking into us, because let's say this election, the government always don't have any good favor in. So the politics there is kind of not, as something I said, is inclusive. So they're only focusing in other region, let's say Tigray, Amara or others. So when it comes to development, there's nothing resources that bring into Gambela, like education or anything, all those stuff. So that's been there for centuries, and our elders been fighting with the government for that. Hey, we need resources, we need something done here. So, and then the worst part was that they sold the whole Gambela, to the foreigner, because the land is very fertile. We have so many rivers. You can do any farming there, and you will be successful. So that was the biggest reason. The government want to use our resources, but they don't want to help the people, and that's why we got killed, because we kind of retreat back to the government.
So that area, they want to wipe people out.
Yeah,
they want to get rid of the dark skin.
Yep, they want to get rid of. That was their plan.
The dark skin.
Yeah, that was their plan.
So there's prejudice even among the people in your country.
Yep.
Even though they're all black.
Yep.
There's prejudice within that.
Yep, in that area.
Okay. What are your thoughts about? Like, I mean, that's harsh.
Yeah, that was really harsh. So it's still there, but that was the previous government. The current government now is trying to unify everyone in the country.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so which is we are very happy with what the current government is doing, because he visited our town Gambela, Ethiopia, and then he talked to the people. So there's a new development coming in the Gambela right now, and then all the land which has been sold by the foreigners to the foreigner, he's bringing back now to the indigenous. So that's a change is coming, but it's not in fast as we are hoping for.
So let's just imagine you're back home in Gambela, Ethiopia right now, and you are the government. What would you do? Like, or what would you say to people in this video that might watch it? Like, what would be a message?
Well, the message is that, if anyone in Gambela who is watching this video, I would say Gambela is not only for Anuak, because we have like 5 tribes or 6 tribes, not for Anuak, Nuer, or Mejanger or Opor. So those are the main ones.
Okay.
Gambela is for every Ethiopian. Anyone who is Gambela, if you are hardworking, the biggest thing we can do is to change Gambela so everyone can have a job, everyone can have a life, everyone can feel safe in Gambela, and this should apply to every Ethiopian, because Ethiopia is stronger when we bring all the tribe together, when we all bring the culture together. That's how we call ourselves a nation. America is growing because it doesn't care about if you worship what. America is progressing because they fought against all this long time ago. So now we have to apply that in those politics in Africa. So if I'm there, I would be like, we have to unite, and we have to start loving one another, no matter what religion you are, what color you are, so that the future that we want to change is in our hand, and it starts to be loving, hardworking, caring for one another, and unify everyone in the country.
That's good.
Yeah.
So your experience in the U.S. is pretty positive compared to what back home. So, I mean, are there anything about your experience in the U.S. that you like to see different or change or get better? It's not probably as bad, of course, but anything that in particular?
Like to change within the United States?
Yeah, I mean, from your first-hand experience, is there anything that you've noticed that you stand up for or against? I don't know.
I think my experience is living in America. I have seen a lot of things firsthand. As a young man, I want to see the change that everyone is looking for. The first thing that I always see is that anyone deserves a better life. No one should be blocked from having any access to a better education or a better life or getting a better job. Everyone should have those opportunities, no matter where you come from or no matter what you look like. So those are the things that I'm seeing. So, and in particular here in Austin, I want to see the continuation of Austin being a welcoming community. Because if we do that, making sure anyone coming to Austin, they can feel like, hey, this is my second home. If I move from California and move here, you don't want to think about, I miss the big building. I just want you to start thinking, I'm in a small town and this town is thriving, and what I can do, I have to contribute to make this place look like California. We may not have like a beaches going out or something, big rivers, but we have a small lake here, whereby we can turn it into something. So I want people to, when they come to Austin, they feel like they are welcome, and they feel like they can thrive here, and they can do anything they can achieve in whatever they can in their life.
That's what you're thinking about.
That's what that's what I've been working on since I stepped my foot in this town.
So how are you going about contributing to making Austin? Like, what have you seen Austin is like that you've been changing, or you've been saying we can't do that if we want to be more welcoming? Is there anything in particular?
Yes.
Or is it already, like you said, it's thriving already? So, what? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of work that we still need to do, especially here in Austin. Well, the thing that I've been working on since I moved here, I've been trying to connect the dot. From bringing the community together, young and old together, the people who are born in Austin and immigrant, because a lot of things that we don't see in Austin. When I first moved here, like immigrant, they do their own thing, refugee, they do their if you are from refugee from Ethiopia, you only connect with Ethiopian community. So when I moved to Austin, I'm like, no, that need to stop. We cannot seed or utilize the resources we have if we only thinking of we as one community, we have to do this. So what I've been working on is, try to connect the dot. If you are a refugee from, Asia, what can I do to connect you with African refugee? If you're a refugee and we have people born here and who grow up, what can we do to connect you with Austin people who are here? Because you may have your house here, but your neighbor here may not know your name. So what can we do? Refugee, they tend to keep quiet, and wait, and we have some Austinians too who are here. They're like, I don't want to talk to them until they talk to me. So what I've been doing, I go out, knock at your door, be like, hey, my name is Oballa, I just moved here, and that's the first thing I did. My first 3 months when I moved to Austin, I just went to the city hall and I knocked at the door of the mayor. I said, Mayor, my name is Oballa Oballa. I'm a student at Riverland, and I've been going here for 3 months, and I'm going to stay in Austin. Is there anything I can do to give back to the community? The mayor looked at me, he thought someone sent me. And I'm like, no one sent me. So I'm like, if there is anything I can do to help the community, I am here to help.
Yeah.
So that a little thing, it turned into a big thing. And here I am today, I sitting as a city first refugee to be elected on the city council.
In Austin? In
Austin.
What about in Minnesota?
Well, we have a lot of refugees elected in office. So
yeah, they beat it. Okay,
yeah, they beat it. So
Ethiopian.
Ethiopian. I would say Ethiopian.
Are you the first Ethiopian
in Minnesota? I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Yep. I would say yes. Yep. Yeah. So those are the things we have to do, because everything about community, we have to get involved and we have to get connecting the dots.
I totally agree with you, Oballa, because you're right. I've noticed that too. Like, people, if Iranian people of my culture, if they were here, they would be congregating around themselves. Actually, the other day I was in Rochester, and there's a lot of Iranians in Rochester because they work for Mayo, and there's a lot of doctors or whatever. And they threw a potluck with Persian food and stuff. There was like 30 of us. So that's right away an example of Iranians getting together because they're used to their culture, they're used to the same music, the same dance, the language,
it's not
the
a bad
food.
thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, but something about the culture that they are familiar with brings them together. Even if like they didn't know me. It was the first time I show up because I met another Persian. They said, oh, we have a Telegram group. Let me add you, because they get together. I'm like, yeah, add me. I might meet some nice people. So they added me, and then I show up, but it was like nothing. Like they like knew me. But so how can we? Like I went to a Karini event in town. In Pearl. You know where that is? and there was live music, food, young people, all parents, and it was just about like one of those awareness events.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there, I'm saying hello to people, but it's not easy. Like when you don't look like them, when you don't speak their language, even if they speak English, you're out of place.
Yep.
I was probably the only. No, there was another white American gal there,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more than one. Yeah, there was a bunch of white Americans, but maybe 5
Mm-hmm.
not Karenni.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there, and I'm social, but it's just not the same as if I was around Iranians. Like I say hello, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like what is it? What is
so
it?
This is the thing that whereby we every culture is rich within themselves. So what can we do? So as you say, when you went to Rochester, you have that connection already over
Instantly.
there. Yeah, instantly.
I didn't even need to get to know them.
Yeah. So this is the same with everyone. So what can we do to share? Because like as we speak now, as we progress with what we are doing here within Austin, what you're doing, I will have more opportunity to learn about Iranian, about your country. So those are the things that if let's say I visit a town somewhere here, and then someone will be like, hey, I am from Iran, and then I'll be like, tell me about yourself, and then right away something will click. I'll be like, oh, I learned this already from my friend Sheriff. He was working at River.
Exactly.
So those are the things that I've been trying. I've been going to every event. I will go to Crane event. I will go to West African event. Even though we are from all Africa, within Africa we have different cultures.
Exactly.
So those are the things that what can we do within Austin so that we can help one another. Bring those cultures together, learn about those cultures, because people will assume that, hey, I don't know about these. Maybe there's 1, 2, and 3 about them, so I don't want to connect with them. But if you experience it, if you learn about it, everyone will be welcoming in this community, and you will not avoid. If I will tell you right now, if you go to Ethiopian party, it will be late. If you will go early, it will be late. It will be long for you, but at the end, you will love that Ethiopian party, and you will love the food. And when you go back to your Iranian friend, you'll be like, we should go to Ethiopian party, but we have to go late, because so those are the things that we have to bring our people together within Austin and share those cultures, teach them about who we are, and that from there, that's what unite us as a community.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of, it's a two-way street. Like if I want to get to know different people and cultures, that's just inherently that's what I want, because I'm social. But you could also assume that a lot of people are like that, but maybe they're shy. Maybe they don't know what words to use. Maybe they're worried about offending. I don't know, or they're not going to take the first step. And so it's a matter of, when we bring each other together, we have to create an environment where it's okay to say something, like ask me a question. Don't be too like standoffish. It's okay, we're human.
So it's just what I see, because one thing that I tell other Austin community, until you give a chance to talk to someone or start a conversation, you will not know about them. It's like going to class. Unless the teacher take a topic and be like, we will learn about this topic today in biology, or learn a topic today about this history, some student will just skip those pages until the teacher told them, we have to talk about this. It's the same thing with us. So when you, like for me, if I go to an event, I don't wait for people to come to me, and be like, oh, I will just go start and be like, hey, first time meeting you, my name is Oballa Oballa. Because my name itself, it brings two people together, because Oballa Oballa. You see
exactly.
That? So and then they'll be like, what is your first name? I'll be Oballa. What's your last name? Oballa. So what's your first name again? And then at the end I'll be like, my name is Oballa Oballa. So these are the things that I do, connect people. When you started, other people will feel welcome. Because some people will be like, I don't have to start it. But if I start it, that means I open the hair for you. So now you can start breathing.
So I think there are people like you and I that we will start it, and it's gonna get like, the culture will be eventually, everyone will know each other, and I mean, even the welcome center is very helpful in putting up those multicultural
events.
That's great.
Yep.
But the thing is, hopefully in the future, it will be less of an event and more of a lived experience.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And that's what. So one other thing that I've been doing to connect with the student, because we have so many students from high school and even in the supermarket. Let's say we go to Walmart. We can start those conversations with people over there. And it takes time. This is not something we can accomplish in one day.
Exactly.
Or in 1 year. It takes time. But what can we do to continue? Because it doesn't have to. We start it and then we stop it. So we just have to continue this culture of making everyone feel welcome.
Exactly. And the last thing I want to ask is some of the things that you do in town, like running for you're a public official and you work at Hormel still?
Yes, I work at Hormel
supervisor.
Yeah.
So some of the public official work that you do, how is that impacting people back home? Like, I mean, that's something that I asked you earlier about how you get traction, like a lot of likes on your posts from people back home. I want to know from your experience what kind of impact you're having back home, and what what kind of comments you're getting from people and advice or questions, and I mean, I'm sure you're having a positive impact on people back home who may have felt like because the tribe is being slaughtered or genocide, right? That there is no hope for them. But would you say that your life experience, being able to escape and come to USA and be where you are with your life, and you're still growing, making a lot of successful strides, is that giving hope to people back home?
Yes, absolutely. I think the genocide that happened in our region has really opened the eye of people who experienced the survival of the genocide, because before the genocide happened, most of us, it's very difficult to come to America, and then that was really very stressful getting life to come to America. But after the genocide, a lot of refugees from Gambela, Ethiopia, they had the opportunity to resettle to United States, Australia, and other European countries. So, and for me, example, it opened my eye because I get education that I didn't have before. I was able to learn English. I was able to learn different language when I was in Kenya. I was able to learn different cultures and learn about the world. But before that, there's nothing like that within our town, because we feel like we are in a one calm whereby the government doesn't want to look at us. So, and for what I do here, give people hope. For me being the first in my community to visit the White House, I talk about that more because when I visit the White House, I posted, I'm like, I become the first in my tribe to visit the White House, and that every kid back home, they're like, if Oballa can make it to the White House, visit the White House, and then talk to the president, anyone can do that, and that gives them a lot of hope. And right now back home, anyone in refugee, they know me because I get published in the article on the United Nations, and they're like, when they go to some of the library, they will see my name. So, and give them hope that we thought this one was over for us, but now the world still know about us. The United States government know about our people. So, and that was really something I felt like it become meaningful. That's why I'm continuing this work, to bring our people to life and to let everyone in the world that my tribe still exists, even though the government tried to wipe us out, we still exist and we are good people.
Yeah, okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for sharing. You have a very inspiring story, and it's good to make a video about this and share it on social media.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks for coming. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this interview I had with Oballa Oballa. And I think in the future we could have more conversations.
Absolutely.
So maybe stay tuned for more with Oballa. And yeah, so welcome again and thanks again. And we will just wave goodbye to people.
Goodbye. Thank you, guys. Thank you.